there's plenty of myths knocking around in everyday life, really. But in terms of health and fitness, there are quite a few. Now, I'm going to go through a couple of them today. There is too many to go through just in one little video, but I'm going to go through some that I feel are the most popular myths. So hopefully you take some of this on board and you can use it moving forward. Now, first one I'm going to talk about are carbohydrates, so carbs. All right, now the main one there are carbs make you gain weight, carbs make you put on body fat. Now, this is a huge myth. Carbs aren't the devil, like a lot of people will lead you to believe, especially, people on Instagram and things like that. Carbohydrates are a big function for the body. They help the brain's function, they help with the blood and things like that. So there's lots of uses for carbohydrates. They're good as an energy source as well. The body can metabolize carbohydrates a lot quicker, use them for energy a lot quicker as well. So they're fantastic to use as an energy source as well. Don't avoid carbohydrates, all right? Definitely not. They don't make you gain weight. They are an integral part of your overall diet. Now, the issue with carbs and where this kind of stems from is the type of carbs that we are eating. It's quite easy to overconsume on carbohydrates. Now, like I've discussed before, everything has got its calorie value. So carbohydrates per gram is 4 calories. Now, if you think in terms of carbs, we've got chocolates, biscuits, cakes, all that kind of stuff. They do come obviously high in calorie. So it's that part that we've got to be wary of. Don't cut it out completely, but just be wary that certain carbs, or what fall under carbs, can be seen as bad foods. And there's no bad foods, remember. I'm doing my little... but it is quite easy to overconsume in terms of calories when it comes to carbohydrates. So no, carbohydrates don't make you gain weight. Just be cautious when you're eating certain carbohydrates, but definitely keep carbs in your diet. Leading from carbs to bread. Obviously, bread falls under the carbohydrates category, but a lot of people do say, again, avoid bread when you want to lose weight, or avoid bread when you want to lose fat. Now, again, you don't need to. All right, bread is quite dense, so it does carry a lot of calories with it. Again, quite easy to overconsume. So there's no reason to reduce, we should be reducing. There's no reason we need to take out bread from our diet. We just need to be aware that it is a lot more dense. There are a lot more calories in it. 100 calories of bread, I think, is roughly about a slice, where you could have a decent amount of pasta, for example. So just be wary of the calorie content. So you don't need to give up bread. Just reduce the amount that you do consume if you do eat a lot of it. Protein. Another one of the macronutrients is protein. Again, 4 calories per gram for protein. Now, the myth to touch on here is that you need protein straight after you've trained. And a lot of you will have seen this in the gym and things like that, where someone will train and straight away, boom, I need to have protein right now. And for those that don't know, protein are the building blocks of the body. They help to repair tissues, not just muscle, tissue all around the body. But it is very, very useful when it comes to repairing muscle. So if you're looking at building muscle mass in the gym, protein is a good way to help repair quicker, so you can train again and blah, 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 blah. Muscle protein synthesis lasts for about 1 to 2 hours after training. So as long as you're getting a decent source of protein in 1 to 2 hours after you've finished training, job's a good one. It doesn't have to be a protein shake. It can be protein, it can be chicken, it can be whatever else it's going to be. It can come from any source, but as long as it's protein, have it within 1 to 2 hours of finishing training. You don't need it straight away. So yeah, you don't need protein whilst you're still in the gym. All right, detox diets and cleanses. There's a lot of these knocking about where, don't eat anything, just drink this, or don't do that, cleanse the body of stuff. There is nothing better than the liver and the kidneys when it comes to cleansing the body. We don't need to go on magic juice diets or tablet diets or anything like that in order to cleanse the body. All we need to do excuse me, is to stop consuming whatever it is you want to cleanse the body of. So the perfect example of this, we've all been on a night out and we've all drank way too much and we've all been hungover the day after. We know that feeling. Now, if we stop drinking, you'll feel rough for a day, maybe two, depending on how much you've drank, but eventually your body will detoxify the body from the alcoholic toxins and you feel better. So you just need to concentrate on a whole diet, balanced diet. So try and reduce the processed food if you want to have a go at detoxifying your body and making yourself feel better. But it just points down that road of a healthy diet. You know, we don't need a label for it. We just need to be on that track of a healthy diet, and the body will look after the rest. I mean, we as humans, we don't know half of what the body can do. The body is such a complex thing that, like I said, we don't even know half of what the body can do. It's so clever, it's so advanced that we're scratching at the surface. So yeah, you don't need supersonic juice diets and things like that. Okay, fat turns to muscle and vice versa, muscle turns to fat. So I hear this one a lot where, oh, if you don't train, you're going to turn that muscle you've got into fat, or if you do train, well, don't worry about it because that fat you've got will turn into muscle. These are two separate things altogether. All right, you've got fat mass and you've got muscle mass. They're completely different. One does not turn into the other and vice versa. Okay, muscle is muscle and fat is fat. So yeah, unfortunately, you can't turn fat into muscle and muscle into fat. Starvation mode. This one's a good one. Starvation mode, where if you go into too much of a calorie deficit, you will put on weight or you will not lose weight. Big myth. Okay, I heard someone say the other day, you don't see many people coming out of like old school concentration camps overweight. They all come out very, very underweight, very unhealthy. So starvation mode is a myth. You know, you can go as far as you want into calorie deficit. Not that I would promote that, but you can go as far as you want into calorie deficit and you'll drop weight. All right, and I'm saying weight, not fat, because the further you go in, then you will drop muscle mass as well as fat mass and things like that. So again, where that comes from is the difference or the alterations in our metabolism. Now, the lighter you get, the less calories you need in order to maintain weight. The heavier you get, the more calories you need in order to maintain weight. So if you're going to put yourself into a calorie deficit and you start to lose weight, eventually, this say is your maintenance level, your calorie deficit is here. As you go along time and you drop weight, your maintenance, or your calorie deficit, will then become your maintenance level. And then weight starts to stop dropping, body fat starts to stop dropping as well. That's when we then need to look at our calorie deficit and reduce it a little bit further. Our metabolism just adapts to our body size and will burn calories as much as it needs to. It's like having a car. If you've got a really, really light motorbike, for example, 10 quid in a motorbike will last you quite a long time, whereas if you put it in a massive 4x4, it'll probably just drive you down the road. The 4x4 with the size of it requires a lot more fuel to perform than something that is a lot lighter. So yeah, your body adapts, your metabolism changes to the levels that it needs to be. You can spot fat reduction as well. So this is another point. So I get a lot of questions, well, will sit-ups allow me to burn fat from my tummy and things like that? If I do a lot of press-ups, will that allow me to lose my bingo wings and things like that? Unfortunately not. You know, it comes as a whole body approach. The body will burn fat from everywhere. So even if you're doing a lot of sit-ups, it will burn fat from everywhere. So unfortunately, we can't spot fat reduction. People will lose fat from different areas quicker than others. That's just part of your makeup. But as a general rule of thumb, no, unfortunately you can't. That'd be ideal though if you could, wouldn't it? How good would that be? We'd all have six packs, wouldn't we? All right, and then the last one I've got on my list for today is that lifting weights makes you bulky. A lot of people, particularly women, are frightened of lifting weights because they don't want to look too muscular. And this genuinely isn't the case. I mean, to add muscle mass, you know, you need to have a specific training program, you need to have a specific diet. and you need to keep those two things in check for probably 10 to 15 years. So, you know, we're not going to be doing that, are we? But lifting weight, improving your overall strength, you know, because if you're not lifting weights at the moment, you will be so strong, but your nervous system, your central nervous system, your current amount of muscle mass will be able to lift more. That's why when you are new to the gym, you will see an increase in strength quite quickly in the first, say, 4 to 5 weeks. And you'll think, flipping heck, I'm getting this much strength. I can, you know, I've added 50 kilos to my deadlift. That's just your central nervous system adapting to its surroundings. So eventually that would plateau. Then you need a proper structured program in order to gain strength from there. But yeah, you won't become too bulky if you start lifting weights. In fact, I would recommend it more than anything. You know, the older we get in particular, it would be a good idea to have some weight training within your program. So I've been through 7 points there. Like I said before, there's a million to go through, but those are 7. If you have any other myths, or if you're not sure if they are myths, if you have any other questions, then let me know and we will go through that again. All right, so yeah, myth busting 101.